let's move to the big story. The only story that everybody's talking about right now. Tiger King. It's the new Netflix series that is somehow even more viral than COVID-19. And if you haven't watched this show, I'm telling you now, you are wasting your life. Seriously, as soon as you're done with this, as soon as you're done watching The Daily Show, go and watch Tiger King. You will thank me tomorrow. It's the most fascinating show you've ever seen. It exposes the horrible world of exotic animal breeding in America, specifically like tigers and lions, and also it answers the question, what would happen if meth smoked itself? And let me tell you something, after binging all 7 episodes this weekend, I've realized a couple of things. One, this is what happens when white people have no black friends. And 2, Joe Exotic is not only one of the weirdest people you will ever meet in your life, he could also be president of the United States. I know, I can hear you. How can you say that president? But hear me out. This man has all of the character traits of a commander-in-chief. Everything. Like, for instance, one thing you notice about Joe Exotic is that he makes everything about him. It's all about me, which apparently is very presidential. Donald Jericho Trump. Every day he shows us why he is not the right leader for this moment or any other moment. And look, luckily, he decided to back off his plan to quickly reopen the economy by Easter. But he does continue to make a fool of himself. Like yesterday, he tried to show off to everyone how much he knows about South Korea, and he failed spectacularly.
That at one point during this press conference, the president said that he knows South Korea better than anybody.
Mr. President, you said several times that the United States has ramped up testing, but the United States is still not testing per capita as many people as other countries like South Korea.
I know South Korea better than anybody. It's a very tight. Do you know how many people are in Seoul? Do you know how big the city of Seoul is? 38 million people. That's bigger than anything we have. 38 million people.
For the record, almost 10 million people live in Seoul, not 38 million.
Wow. Trump was so wrong, but with so much confidence. I would pay anything to see him be a contestant on The Price is Right. So what's your bid on this new dishwasher? That's easy. $57 billion, Drew. What? I know it all. So to try and avoid taking responsibility for the government's slow response to coronavirus, Trump has blamed impeachment and China. But as always, there's only one person who Trump loves to blame for everything that goes wrong in his life: Barack Hussein Obama. You see, Trump has claimed that the reason America fell so far behind other countries when it came to coronavirus testing is because of rules that the Obama administration made. Now, the only thing is, nobody has been able to find these rules that Trump is talking about. So that means either Trump is lying, which is unlikely, or it means Obama did block Trump from doing the tests. But then he hid his evidence in the same place that he hid his birth certificate. Magical Kenyan strikes again. So, Trump is still making excuses for not reacting sooner to this crisis. But on the upside, it seems like he's at least starting to act like he's taking the threats of this pandemic a little more seriously. You are in an interesting position where, in many ways, you are an expert on this topic because of the work that you now do in philanthropy. You know, your goal has been to eradicate malaria across the globe, focusing in Africa. You work with infectious disease, you work with experts in and around infectious disease. When you look at the coronavirus as it stands now, it's happened, leaders acted late, but what do you think needs to be done going forward? You wrote an interesting op-ed about this, but what do you think we need to do from the ground up, from the people to the leaders to the private sector?
Well, the main tools we have right now are the behavioral change, the social distancing, which often means staying at home most of the time, and the testing capacity to identify who in particular needs to get isolated, and then testing their contacts to make sure that we can catch it so early that a lot of people who get sick don't infect anyone else.